Hi, I'm Dan Whitley, and I'm introducing my method book, Notable Youth Vocal Workbook. It's a different kind of a book than most vocal books because you need to write in it every day if you're really serious. And we have Maddie here. She's 12 years old, and she is going to help us go through this book. The table of contents is here first, and then it talks about achievement awards. What the achievement awards are for on page 5 is to go into what is really expected. So it talks about how much time to practice and all of the things along here. I won't go into it, we'll just put those up on the video. And you can read that. The tips for scheduling practice time I found very important. Provide a quiet environment. You need to make sure you have a place you can go where you can practice. If it's your room, then you go into your room and you practice where it's quiet. And then schedule. You should schedule the time so that you know that this is right after school, before I eat, and everything. You do it. I do have a couple of students that like to practice while they're in the shower. They actually think their voice sounds better when the shower is echoing. So you can count that for time. Now I have some exercises and things, and of course this just has different points and tips for parents. Just want to make that point, it's really important. This introduction talks about the approach to the voice and the fact that all we do when we sing is we make these 5 sounds. A, E, I, O, U, long and short sounds. Everything we say at the end of a word is a consonant, but we don't sing the consonant, we just stick it on the end. So we're going to spend most of our time working on the vowels and how the vowels work and the placement of your throat so that you can get your throat working. Then it talks about how to use the book, and then we get right into vocal production. And the vocal production is produced by what? What do you think produces the voice sound? The most important thing before anything happens up here, what happens? It has to happen first. What's this?
Stomach.
Breathing. And it's not in your stomach, it's in your lungs. But your stomach has a great deal to do with it. So we're going to talk about breathing. I'm going to tell you a little secret, and this is not a big secret, but it's a little secret. So at your age, at 12, the outside of your body is just starting to grow up. And the inside, while it's growing on the outside, the inside usually stays the same. Meaning the inside of the body stays like you're a little 8 or 9-year-old. Your lungs are going to stay just like an 8 or 9-year-old. You'll be 13 or 14 and look like a young woman, and you'll still have the lungs the same size as an 8 or 9-year-old. And you wonder why you open your mouth to sing and you sound like an 8 or 9-year-old. So if you've been doing some singing when you're younger, then you've been using your lungs, and maybe even something like swimming or things where you have to do a lot of breathing, your lungs can actually grow. The point that I make in my book is that there are 3 basic exercises to get the lungs to grow. You can talk to your lungs and say, "Hey lungs, would you please grow?" But your lungs don't listen to that. In fact, they don't listen to what you say. They listen to what you do. And so we're going to teach you to do something to get your lungs to grow.
Okay.
And you can do this very quickly. So, the diaphragm is right here. So see where your ribs, kind of touch with your fingers. See your ribs? Those little ribs. Put your thumbs right where your ribs are. And go like this. And you're going to stand like this. Put your fingers right over your navel. And when you breathe in, your tummy has to come out. Ready, go. Did it go out?
Yeah.
You kind of thought about it for a second, didn't it? Okay, now push in on your tummy and blow out. Now the secret with the tummy working that way is that it's controlled breathing. When you naturally breathe, if you're a dancer, the teacher says, hold your position, make sure your tummy's in, even if you breathe, hold that tummy in or you're going to look like a fatso. You know, that's what they tell you. But this is not what happens when you're the singer. When you're the singer, your tummy doesn't work. Woo! Time for singing, no sound, okay? Or poppy woppies, okay? Put your hands here again. Now this time, to make it a little more effective, instead of the tummy just like this, what you're going to do is your tummy's going to go out and your seat is going to go out. So your seat goes out and your tummy goes out. Ready, breathe. And then when you breathe in, your tummy goes in, your seat goes in. You even tighten your gluteus maximus a little. Now hold your breath for about 10 seconds. Now breathe in and do that. That is the big trick, is the fact that the biggest muscles in your entire body get behind your voice. Wow! But if there's still 8, 9-year-old lungs sitting in there, which I'm guessing they probably are about that, maybe a little more if you've been singing a lot. And you wouldn't be here if you hadn't been singing quite a lot. So that's the first breathing exercise. The second breathing exercise is you put your arms to the side like this. Make sure you have plenty of airplane room. Now when you breathe in, tell me if your tummy comes out. Ready? Breathe in through your mouth and your nose. Did your tummy go out? Okay, drop your hands, push your tummy in, tighten your seat. Now undo that. Raise your arms, tummy out, seat out. Did it work that time? Yes! Okay, so we're going to show you an extended version of it, but that's the next version. Okay, the third exercise, and let's turn this chair a little bit to the side so you can be seen a little better. You put your feet on the ground, slide forward on your chair, put your knees on your elbows, and put your hands like this. Now when you breathe in, tell me what happens to your tummy.
It goes out.
You know, when you blow out, push it in. There's nothing you can do in that position. But when's the last time you sang a song was sitting in this position? It's been a long time for me. Okay, now the trick is when you do this exercise, you want to make sure when your tummy comes out, you tuck your seat back, because that'll give you more room in your diaphragm. Ready? Breathe in, tummy out, seat back. Count to 10. Blow out. Now don't get a breath. Count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When you get going more, hold your breath. You did. Okay, did you see how that worked?
Yeah.
When you do that 3 times a day and you write it in the chart, there's a blue chart I have right here. See this? This is either a parent chart. Usually I use it for just for me, just for the teacher. But if you're just going to take a few lessons here and you're going to be kind of directing her with her exercise, then you'll write on the blue chart and you time her like once every couple of days. And then the white sheets, there are 10 pages. And you can even copy the pages and hang them up on the refrigerator and say, did you do your breathing? Because if you really want to have a voice when you land in junior high and you want to audition for those parts, those muscles, the diaphragm muscles, and the lungs have to be bigger. They have to be as big as they need to be to sound like a big voice. And you can't do it without the air. And nobody ever talks about it. They say,